Hi, my name is Lori Orlinsky and I'm an award-winning children's book author. I am so excited to read my book to you today, The Tooth Fairy's Tummy Ache Using Caribu, my favorite app. You see, it happened when I was eating a juicy red apple for snack. I was chewing and chomping when suddenly I bit down and heard a crack. My first tooth was finally out. All it took was something yummy. But when I went to collect it from my mouth, I realized it landed in my tummy. This wasn't the plan I thought of in my head. I had to think of something fast before I went to bed. So I searched high and low for something tiny and white, even though what I was doing wasn't really right. The tooth fairy wouldn't visit if she didn't have a tooth to take. So I put a kernel of popcorn under my pillow as a replacement fake. This child's tooth feels a little strange and doesn't look quite right, but I'll trade it in for a silver dollar, hop on my toothbrush, and fly out of sight. Back to the workshop I go to add this tooth to my collection. But this one looks rotten upon further inspection. It's too round to string and too tiny to glue. What could I do with this tooth? I didn't have one clue. So I call my fairy friends who come over skipping and hopping. But when they got closer to the tooth, all of a sudden it starts popping. Pop, 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 pop. Quickly it spreads from the floor to the ceiling. I knew I should try and stop it, but it's hunger I'm feeling. There's nothing left to do but say ah and open wide. Popcorn rains in my mouth and fills me up inside. But a few minutes later, there isn't any mistaking. I feel really yucky because my tummy is aching. So I stay in bed and skip the work I have to do. But what's gonna happen when everyone wakes up feeling blue? The grandmas and grandpas would be missing their dentures. My friends wouldn't have necklaces for their dress-up adventures. The night sky will be without all of its shiniest stars. Tooth fairies won't have flying dust, so they'll have to drive cars. Suddenly it hit me. I had a hunch. Maybe this girl lost her tooth while she was having lunch. I go through the window for the second time tonight. I have to explain to her the difference between wrong and right. So I tap on her shoulder and whisper in her ear, "Lying won't get you anywhere. Do you hear me, my dear? It's best to be honest and always tell the truth. You should have just told me that you swallowed your tooth." She flashes me a smile with a toothless grin, and I feel a new friendship is about to begin. I'll leave you this notepad so you can write me a letter. Hopefully when you lose your next tooth, it'll turn out much better. I hope you enjoy reading this book as much as I did. What will you read together next on Caribu?